Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pouring Takes with your hosts Charlie and Rhea. Rhea will be played by Brandon Kerr. Also, breaking Mavs news. Take it away, Charlie.
Hey everybody, welcome to Point Takes Podcast. I am Charlie Van. Join with me, Brandon Kerr. We're live here at Underdog, a restaurant and sports club. Always a pleasure. Tanner, our producer. Love the intro. Love the fire up here. But yes, we have breaking news, and this is not. This is for real.
It is.
Guys. The Mavs have secured the number one pick in the NBA lottery. Is it rigged? Let's open the floor.
Oh, super rigged.
Is it rigged? I think is the trending topic on Twitter right now, or X, because I've seen a lot. Deadspin immediately posted, "Is the NBA draft lottery rigged?"
Because they were in the top four.
Yeah. I think they started out at 11.
At 11, but they kept inching up.
1.8 chance of getting the number one spot,
Yeah.
so that is pretty low odds. I did not go into the night optimistic, let's put it that way. And then I started looking, and I was like, oh, the Mavs are in the top four. That's awesome, right? Still expecting they'll be four.
Yeah.
Which I don't know who the fourth best prospect is. No idea. But then more started trickling in, and all of a sudden Twitter blew up.
Number one pick.
Mavs number one. Never seen it before. They've been in the lottery 17 times from what I hear.
Yeah.
And never moved up. They've actually fallen back a couple of times where they had the worst record. Remember those early 90s teams?
Forget about those. But
yeah. And then they had the worst record and then ended up picking fourth, right? Or second. I think once it was second, but never had the number one pick with the draft lottery anyway.
So they have the number one pick, and we just saw, the Wings had the number one pick, and they got Paige Buchers and Paige Buckets. So the question is, just because they have the number one pick doesn't mean we know really who they're going to pick, but we know who is the number one guy right now, player, and that is Cooper Flagg out of Duke. You would think that he is the choice. If this is the NFL, he is the choice.
Yeah, I think he's consensus number one. But,
Yeah.
Nico's done some things, right?
Yeah.
Like
Defense wins championships, Brandon.
Yeah, he's going to have to win my trust back, which I don't know if he ever will. But if he does not take Cooper Flagg, he never will.
Well, if he doesn't, I think he just don't show up to the arena. Already don't. But, he just fired another top athletic trainer. Things don't look good. But, if let's play this, is the NBA rigged?
Yes.
Yes.
Tanner's chiming in already.
Yes.
In fact, so here's what I think. Is it rigged? Possibly. Do I care? I'm glad for us.
Yeah.
If you're looking after this year, or how the whole worst trade ever, we needed something.
The Spurs, conspiracy theories of them getting the number one pick twice, tanking in 99 to get Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
And then they got Wemby a couple of years ago. Everybody's always said, it's rigged. I don't know why the NBA would rig for San Antonio, but maybe, right? So
they're tired of that fire Nico chants around the league.
Maybe.
I don't think those are going to completely stop, but
if there is a conspiracy, if it is rigged, what are we saying? Is it rigged that Pelinka and Nico organized this trade with the league's approval that the Mavs would get the number one pick? Or is it rigged in the league sees what's going on in Dallas and says, we can't have that market suffer?
Yep.
And they intervened, right?
Yeah.
So those are two different things.
I think the second one would be more likely than the first, because the first, they thought win now.
Yeah.
They didn't expect, even though we had our doubts about 80's health.
Yeah.
But, and Nico is like, okay, I'm doing this with the gamble of knowing he stays healthy. not thinking Kyrie's going. You're losing Kyrie.
Yeah,
And
it
to be
snowballed poorly.
And to be honest, those two stay healthy. They're in the mix.
They would be dangerous.
Yes.
I'm not denying that. I never said they wouldn't be,
Yeah.
by the way.
But it didn't play out that way.
No.
And it just got worse. Things got worse. And yes, we're a top 5 sports market, you know. And this is a huge market, and you just see the hurt and the dismay, and the bad PR. I mean, it really got out of hand.
All that money gone, man.
All that money.
All that money. I mean, this is a step in the right direction of saving some season ticket holders, saving some revenue for next year that they were projected to lose hundreds of millions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
With the Luka trade and him not being here. So this is a step in the right direction. So if this was rigged, that's the way I'm leaning as well. As the league, Adam Silver said, Dallas is struggling fan base wise. We need to do something. Not in the trade was organized to get the Mavs this number 1 pick. I don't think that happened.
would have even made sense to make that trade if you're on a win now. Like
Yeah.
it really, I think the league. I mean, it is known how bad this hurt the city.
Yeah.
How hostile things have gotten.
I mean,
you know?
there has to be. I mean, he would never admit it, but there had to be times where Nico was scared for his safety.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because there's crazy people out there, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
heard about it with the Astros picture.
Exactly,
The death
right?
threats,
So
which is not cool.
Yeah, no, I absolutely not, and I don't even think with what Nico did, he should deserve anything like that, right? But he had to at least fear, right? At times,
It's a crazy world.
yeah. So
Sports fans can be very crazy, and yeah, I mean, I think just overall, you look at this market and you just see the pain, and how can we, but also how we could add some more magic,
Yeah.
you know, and put
Where do we go from here?
yeah.
Of sorts.
Well, you put Cooper in Dallas market. I mean, that's why it looks great with Page too being the number. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously just how big Dallas is, popular when it comes to sports media.
yeah.
And yeah, it sucks losing Luka, and it will always suck. However, Dallas Stars only have these stars,
Exactly.
you know, in these markets. So Cooper,
I mean, there's already a little rhetoric that I've seen of Cooper didn't look excited, right? He did a little golf clap. He doesn't look to be happy that Dallas got it. If
Yeah.
I was him, I would be like, heck yeah,
Yeah.
they just lost what they wanted, right?
Yeah.
I'm here to take that spot, right?
and
if I was him, I'd be so ecstatic.
Paige and Cooper are going to get married, man.
well, that could be. There's another thing.
I have
Paige
already
and
said
Cooper.
that in a group text, saying they're going to have the best basketball playing white kids ever.
I'll say this. For Cooper, I would be excited just because look who you are coming to play along.
Yeah.
Kyrie, AD, Clay, possibly. We'll see.
Possibly
We'll
Clay.
see. But not,
he's
you have
probably
PG,
changed his tune a little bit in the past 30 minutes as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you can have that, and then PJ, you have a stacked team as long as it just, and even before the Luka, losing Lively was huge. Like,
Yeah.
there was just a lot of things. But now you get to be the saver.
Yeah.
Now you get to come in.
You're the guy, right?
You are the guy. And
I
then
would be
the
so
long-term
happy if I was
guy.
him. Yeah, for sure. So I don't buy anything into he wasn't happy. Now, what
didn't-
Nico did not, appease
No.
his popularity amongst players, right? Like keeping that whole trade a secret does not look well,
Yeah.
right? But this has nothing to do with that, really.
To be fair, I've seen a lot of like Cooper interviews, and it's all the same. I don't think he's like the most ecstatic guy,
No,
but
probably
he
not.
plays the best. That's all. That's just who
Yeah,
he is.
he probably is just a little stoic, right?
Yeah, he's very stoic. But
I mean, look at Jokic, right?
Yeah.
He's like the most, this is just another day at work for me
Yeah,
kind of
he
guy.
just wants to see his horses.
Yeah.
He's like, this bad for horses.
Well, I mean, Kawhi Leonard's like that.
Yeah,
No
I mean,
emotion.
baseball has it too, right? You never heard Mike Trout's voice, right?
Yeah.
Like, Ohtani comes off as very stoic,
Yeah.
but it is. Sometimes those superstars have to be that way. Not saying Flag's going to be a superstar, but he's projected the number 1 pick, so maybe.
Well, and going back to this, he
Welcome
probably
home,
just doesn't
Coop.
know. He is consistent, but he may not be the pick. So it's just like where
He better be.
he may not be the.
He may not be. but he better
I
be.
mean, this is going to be a very hold your breath for a while. We have how many weeks? It's what's usually end of June, mid-June.
yeah.
When's
I
the
mean,
NBA draft?
we're only in the middle of the second round,
Yeah.
right? So there's still a month and a half left of playoff basketball.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's
NBA draft.
It's a ways.
NBA draft is when is it? It is June 25th to the 26th.
Okay.
So we
That
got
makes
some
sense.
time to
Got
go
some
back and
speculating
forth.
to do.
Yeah.
I'm not as worried about that. You know, we were talking before we went live that Nico can't afford to not do this, right?
Yeah.
And I agree with that. I'm more worried about will Cooper Flagg hit his ceiling, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm more worried about. It's not the immediate, but, you know, we saw it with, you know, what was it, the Greg Oden and Durant
Yeah.
draft, right? Oden went number 1, and just knee injuries derailed his career, right?
Yeah.
And Durant obviously was the best player in that draft.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm more worried about. But that's a lottery, right? Like, you
Yeah.
don't know.
No, you don't know, but at least he will be on a roster. There is a lot of support, so if it's not a quick start,
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, he has to develop, right?
he's got to develop. It's a possible long-term solution. We will see, but it is going to open a lot of conversations right now, and maybe there is some hope.
It goes a ways for me to not just be full-fledged Laker fan, right?
Yeah.
So maybe I'm coming back a little bit to the Mavs side.
The initial sting is
Yeah,
gone.
I mean, I'll never get over the trade,
Yeah.
right? And we'll just refer to it as the trade. But this helps a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It
it
does.
gives you some sugar.
Yeah.
Erase a little bit of that salt.
Even if it was rigged, I don't care.
No,
Right?
I'm
Like,
going to
really
say,
don't.
hey,
I mean, the
We
NBA has
needed
been
something
known
about
for
it. Yeah.
some
I
rigging
mean,
here and there.
The
Yeah.
Patrick Ewing cold envelope, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing. Like, there's chapters and books about that, right? Like, everybody thinks that is something that legitimately happened for real.
yeah.
Like, so, yeah. I
Well,
mean, could it be?
cheers to I know.
Cheers. I don't have a
to
beer.
the first pick for the Dallas Mavs.
I know.
May it be great. May we,
For years to come,
for
right?
years to come. So, but yeah.
Well,
there
that
we
covers
go.
our breaking news segment. I want
Yes.
to have our introductions. Brandon, thank you so much for joining again
No
today.
problem. I
filling
enjoy
in
it every
for
time.
Rhea. Charlie, how's your weekend, buddy?
Man, so Friday we were here at Underdog watching Game 2 of the Stars. So
Yeah,
thank you everybody.
the bad
Bad game, but fun hanging with that. Thank you everybody that came out for that. It was great turnout here. Unfortunately, just the game wasn't great, but that was bound to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of went in knowing it would be tough to grab both of them in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
It was wishful thinking.
Yeah.
I wanted it to happen, but I knew it would be difficult.
Yeah, so big statement win for them. Saturday, Sunday was pool day. We are getting that pool weather in the Village. If you know, it is one of the best pools out there. So,
It's pretty dope.
and it was my day back drinking. Not on antibiotics anymore. But realized, man,
Hey,
you're tough.
congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. 11 days.
I'm glad it cleared up.
Yeah.
it did. There's still some lingering.
Yeah, you're
There's
still
some
feeling it a
lingering.
little
I'm
bit, I
still
think.
feeling it.
Yeah? Well, just bag it up.
Yeah, I think that was a problem on Saturday and Sunday. Is like my body's like, hold on,
Hang on,
hold on.
guys.
You gotta ease.
Right?
You know,
gotta take
but-
this slow.
But it's still fun. It was, great weather. So
I mean,
I'm
that village pool has come a long way since we lived there, right? Tanner?
Oh my God! Yes, me and Brandon used to live there back in like 2006,
yeah.
2007, yeah.
and it was dope.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was awesome.
But now
it
it's a
has taken
whole other
A
animal.
whole nother level, right? Which is awesome. Like I've been out there a couple of times since they did the remodel,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, this is legit.
We'll do a poolside podcast
Oh,
for
for sure. That'd be a good
Yeah.
splash.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
boy.
my weekend, was my double hitter weekend, actually. So it was obviously Mother's Day.
Oof.
So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Yeah. But it's also my dad's birthday.
Oh.
So it was like every year it's the double hitter on that weekend where it's, we go do something for both of them, gifts for both of them. And it was fun. We went out to eat on Saturday, which was technically my dad's birthday. Bought him some baseball cards because, he's way more into it than me.
Yeah, what'd you get him?
I got him this awesome blue sapphire Ellie.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a
go.
nice graded 10. It's a nice, beautiful card. Like, even my mom saw it, and she's like, that's pretty cool. And I'm like, okay. And then I got my mom some wine glasses just because my dad stole what she wanted. So talked to her late last week. I was like, what do you want for Mother's Day? Just tell me what you want, what you need. I'll get it. So she called me back on Saturday before we met up, and she's like, I really need a little handheld vacuum. Like, I threw my old one out. And I'm like, perfect. That's a perfect gift. I'll go by Target. I'll grab it.
Yeah.
So I go eat and everything because we're meeting up later. And then my dad calls me. He's like, what? Have you got your mom's gift yet? And I was like, no. Well, I need to get her something too. What are you going to get her? I was like, what she told me to get her? He's like, well, I'm already at Home Depot and they have them, so I think I'm going to get her that. And I'm like, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. Now you made my job much harder. But it was, my mom, she's pretty easy to buy for. So
Yeah.
I just got her some wine glasses because she loves the wine. And
All right.
she was very happy with it.
Party time.
Nice,
I know.
nice.
And then Sunday, did nothing. I actually stayed on the couch, watched the Stars game, got caught up on some shows, and left one time to go get food, and that was it.
There you go.
Perfect.
Perfect Sunday.
What a genius
Good
weekend.
old-
I know.
I didn't do shit.
Really? No bands, no.
No, man, it's been nice. I've had a few weeks off from all the bands and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't even have karaoke last week. We had the Stars game, so
Oh,
just
that's
did
right.
that instead.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I've been taking a little vacation. I was
There you
looking
go.
forward to seeing you fellas today just so I could see some
Get
people.
out.
Right?
Yeah. Well, you're playing this Friday,
Am I?
aren't you? You playing?
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, you're at
You
Hardwood
told me you were
Arms.
playing next weekend because I tried to talk you into that.
Oh, yeah, it's doubleheader weekend for me this weekend.
Yeah.
What are you
It's
doing Saturday?
Harwood on Friday, Flying Saucer on Saturday.
Oh,
Which flying saucer?
Fort Worth.
Oh, no. No, if you would
That
have
is
said
a trick.
Rockwall, I might have been, or
It's
Garland, I would have been like,
Quadruple
okay.
bear this weekend.
Quadruple bear.
Double bear.
Bear Claw or whatever it's called.
Bear claw.
Bear Claw.
No, I tried to talk you into that spur of the moment baseball trip, and you
Yeah.
said no.
Oh yeah.
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 You were talking about that.
I was
on
trying to go to
Friday.
New York
Ooh.
next week.
There you go.
I'm
Rangers
going in
playing the
June
Yankees.
or August or October. I can't remember.
You're
I'm
going to New York?
You're going to
Yeah.
one of those months.
I'm going one of those months.
Okay.
You gonna hang out with the Giants?
I got a cousin that's getting married.
There you go.
Oh, that sounds awful.
I don't know, man. They're pretty loaded. I think we'll have a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that sounds fun then.
All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Glad everybody had a good time. Hey, audience, are you an establishment looking to have some sports talent in your bar making a big fuss that everybody wants to look at and be a part of? Pouring Takes is here for you. Reach out to us at pouringtakes.com. We have all the ways to reach us.
Yeah.
Come talk to us about your products. Come talk to us about your establishments. Come hang out. Share some hot sports opinions. Whatever you're into, man. We have friendly, affordable rates. Moving on.
Make it work.
All right. So we talked to Mavs. Breaking news. Well, let's. We talked about it a little bit. The Stars.
Yeah.
What
Big
Friday
weekend.
was
Big weekend.
very disappointing, but Sunday here at home, very great.
I mean, Miko didn't have a hat trick. Let's get rid of him.
No,
Let's
I
get rid of
know.
him, right?
No
He's
hat
not-
trick.
He's not as good as we thought. Let's get rid of
Clearly,
him.
there's some problems with his health. He's a little heavy.
Yeah.
He's a little slow.
We're gonna
He's a
have to
little
trade him-
talky.
Trade him to the Kings.
Trade him to the Kings
No.
or the Knights.
The Knights. No, it was another great game for Miko.
Yeah.
Yesterday, 3 points. Wasn't 3 goals. 3 points.
Hey.
They can't complain. Ridiculous streak, and they came home and played like they needed to play.
Everybody, everybody, this time it wasn't just as you mentioned, the Miko show, which we needed the love to be kind of spread around. It was.
Yeah, I'm glad that he didn't keep that streak of just he's involved in every goal, because I didn't want them to become dependent on that, right? Like they needed to be able to score without him, making the assist, right? Or, I mean, he was on the ice, so that still counts, but not point-wise.
Well, I'll tell you how tonight was Ottinger.
Oh, yeah.
He has been on, pretty much been on fire.
Otter is better.
He is doing, because playoff time, usually there's a little, he's not showing up. He's showing up, and he's been doing so well. Super happy for him. But, yeah, this was just a great all-around supporting cast game. And just you could tell the energy. I think Friday we knew possibly that would happen, but they didn't let it affect them mentally.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying on Friday when we left. I was like, hey, sucks we lost in overtime, right? And everybody's looking at me like, it was 4-0. I was like, it doesn't matter, right? They could have lost by 12, or they could have lost by 1 in overtime, right? A loss is a loss in the playoffs. Doesn't matter. So they rebounded perfectly from that. I knew the guys in the locker room weren't going to be discouraged. They got their split in Winnipeg, and they were going to come back home and play, and they did. I mean, Winnipeg is good. We can't forget that. No. So that was a tough game yesterday, and it's going to be a tough game tomorrow.
I was going to say, game 4 back here, of course. This is one where, I will say this. We're a really good home team, but a team that has had our number at home has been Winnipeg. They might have not yesterday, but, I mean, they know how dire this is. This game is, because they can going down 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, it would be tough for them to go back home
or 3-1.
Down 3-1.
They would be up down there 3-1. Yeah.
You mentioned him a minute ago about Otter. I think that's the difference I see in the two teams right now, and it's not unique to my opinion. I think that's the national scribe here is Hellebuyck has shown some squeakiness in goal, where Otter seems to be better.
Consistent.
And that's throughout their careers. We've seen that. Hellebuyck shrinks in the playoffs where Otter gets bigger.
Well, and then we just have the experience factor of just being in these rounds and in these moments and just taking control of momentum. And so I think I think you kind of see where Winnipeg still dangerous. I think some of the lack of experience, especially in a possibly seven game series. So it's going to be. I mean, game 4 is going to be interesting. I hope we come in. I think it's going to be a fight.
It will be.
It'll be a fight because of how dire. But I will say even if we lose, I don't feel as dire for us, because I feel like just with how good we do have with like Miko and Ottinger, they can take one up there.
For sure. I don't think we're out of it if we lose and the series is tied.
But they have to win. I think
they would be very hard pressed to not win. Winnipeg would be in dire straits if they did not win.
Yeah.
They said it on the national broadcast yesterday. I didn't do any research, but they said, and it shocked me when they said it, that with the win yesterday, Otter is tied for 6th all time in goalie wins in the playoffs.
Wow.
That's insane. I mean, I might have misheard them. I might have misheard them, honestly. I just, in passing, heard that and go, that's crazy. But that just shows you, to your comment about the experience we have. The Stars have been in the playoffs in these deep runs like 4 out of 5 years, right? Made the Cup finals in the bubble.
Yep.
We didn't have Otter then. We were rolling with Kudobin.
Back-to-back conference appearances last season.
That's a lot of playoff wins, and he's shown his mettle, right?
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, and it's good on Coach DeBoer, too. Kept this team just ready, I feel like just everyone's clicking. No one is discouraged. Even, I mean, the games have started off neck and neck.
Yeah.
But, they ran away with it yesterday, which was awesome. And I just think those are the adjustments that they're making.
Yeah, I would like to see we have a couple of hotheads on our team, obviously, and they tend to play reckless at sometimes. So I would like to see Ben and Marchment not play that way, but to be honest, that's what gives them the edge sometimes.
Yeah.
So taking that away from them, where sometimes it does put us at a disadvantage with some minor penalties, and sometimes in Jamie's case, major penalties. He needs to rein that in, but I don't want to take away their edge as well, because that's the kind of players they are. Marchment's that kind of guy that if he plays for your team, you love him. If he's on the other team, you hate him.
Yeah.
Right? And I love having players like that, right? So you can't take that away from him, but he has to play within reason.
Yeah. No, I agree. You just got to avoid dumb penalties. But I feel like that's not been an X factor against them as much as it could be.
It could have been.
It could be.
Yeah. Our penalty kill's been really, really good.
But that's why I'm just so stoked with what we have in this cast, this team, and obviously having a guy like Miko, helps big time. But I'm glad yesterday's game wasn't him just carrying everything.
Yeah. No, they needed to prove to themselves that other people can do it too, because you will become dependent on that. And I think that's you're playing hero ball. You don't want to do that too much, right?
No, not at all. But I mean, the guy is he's the Moose. He is the Moose.
Perfect nickname, Moose and Otter.
I love it. I love
Moose
that card.
and Otter.
And then you got Robo.
We have
you got the robot.
Yeah, well, I was going to say we have some Canadian animals.
Yes.
These otters, aren't they like native to Canada? I don't really know.
I don't
I
know
know
too
moose
many.
are.
Oh, Moose for sure.
Yeah.
But
Meese?
Mooses.
Mises.
Mises.
I don't know.
Well, they are both those two guys though, or something else. So.
Yeah, and Robo's a great nickname as well.
Yeah, Robo is a great one, and it's good to see him in the mix, and he gets a little fiery.
He does.
Now a little bit.
He's been scrumming it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they're tired of looking at each other at already. Right?
Yeah.
Like they're tired of looking at those Winnipeg Jets.
Well, it's just
Who wouldn't be? There's some ugly dudes on that team.
I agree.
from they can jet off.
Yeah.
No, I mean just the bad blood from the season.
Yeah.
Because the Jets have been definitive against them. But once again, this is where the experience factor and the playoffs are clean. I think you said it. It's a clean slate. So we're taking control right now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Game 4, Game 5 on Thursday in Winnipeg. So, and these watch parties at Victory Park and Discovery here in Dallas have been crazy. Now, I will say it's going to get hotter. So I don't know how people wear the freaking jerseys out.
Oh,
My
dude.
guess is next round, if we're lucky enough to get there, they'll open up the AAC for the watch parties.
Yeah, I think so.
I would think so. So I need to make it down there for one of them. I haven't done that yet.
I do too. I definitely, if knock on wood, if they, advance into the conference, that's going to be electric.
Yeah. I still expect this one. I'm still saying Stars in 6 on this one.
No, it's looking like that.
Yeah.
I said 7. It's been a fight. Let's just keep fighting. If we're able to win tomorrow, freaking huge.
Yeah. I mean, even with back-to-back losses in the conference finals, the Stars don't fold.
They don't fold, and
they
aim to get better.
Yeah.
They add who they need to add.
Yeah, they may have lost the last 2 years, and
Yeah.
that's fine. I get that. I wish they would have won, but they didn't quit. They didn't give up.
And I'll say this: they didn't have a Miko. They didn't have a Connor McDavid. They are a good supporting cast, but there's not like one superstar.
Our best player is a defenseman, right? Like
Yeah.
Miro, right?
Yeah.
I would say
No,
he's technically our best player
But from a
without Miko.
scoring
Yeah.
standpoint, we haven't had like a Miko.
Yeah, we definitely didn't have a McKinnon or
Yeah.
a McDavid, right?
Yeah.
Like those players weren't there. I mean, Robinson led the team in goals the past couple of years. Rope is, electric but he doesn't like have that level of, just puck handling skills that like Miko does, right?
Yeah.
He's very fast. Rupe's extremely fast,
Yeah.
but Miko has this level of just puck handling that we haven't seen here since Madonna, probably.
Hey, best trade in recent Dallas sports history.
I mean, all our teams are making trades. I will say that. I mean, the Rangers are like, hey, what are we going to do, right? The
Yeah.
Rangers haven't made a trade in a while. They got Jake Berger.
Yeah.
But they need to make a trade at the deadline. Let's see what they can bring in. Because,
Well,
Cowboys just made a trade. We'll talk about
here in a
soon.
second. Well, let's talk about the Rangers.
Okay.
Let's talk because things were looking a little bit dire.
That offense was very scary.
Yeah. But this past weekend's been very promising, I would say.
I'm excited to see what Evan Carter's doing now that he's back.
Yeah.
He's hitting pretty well. Had a couple hits off left-handers, which I think was the knock against him, right? Where he can't hit lefties, hit lefties. And that's without talking about his back, because any 22-year-old with a back injury,
Oh, it's tough.
that's scary,
It's
right?
brutal.
Like that's a red flag. That's scary,
Yeah.
right? But he's had some hits against left-handers. I think he's played very well. I think nice seeing Jock get a home run finally.
There you go, Jack.
Yeah, nice seeing Simeon get a home run. I think he had a home run. Seager.
Can I ask you something? Do
Yeah.
you think his favorite kind of music is jock jams?
Man, I'd hope so. What a missed opportunity.
I would think so, just for pure, random reasons, right? I
Yeah,
guess.
for the lull.
Yeah,
Up
for the
jam.
LOLs.
Jam. Man,
But yeah, I could see that just because I think he's a quirky guy.
you have to play on that.
Yeah.
If you don't, miss opportunity.
Yeah, he still needs to keep hitting though, because that's all he does.
Yeah,
right? Like
that
if
is
we're
your-
gonna
that is
sign
your
you,
job.
Your job is to hit, so you need to hit.
Yes.
Because if you're not hitting, what are you doing?
Well, Josh Smith, always constant fresh breath of fresh air. I mean, he's been doing
You
well.
want to try that one again?
We've talked before. I was skeptical.
I couldn't catch my breath right then.
We've talked about Josh
Besides the
Smith.
bronchitis.
Yep.
We've talked about Josh Smith. I've been skeptical,
Yeah.
but I'm starting to come around that he's going to continue to be this, right? Like he's just an all-around utility guy that can hit,
Yep.
and I like it.
I like it too. Just keep holding on to keep building momentum. Get healthy. I know Berger. We called.
Just got called back
Just
up
got
today.
called back up, so that's gonna be great having him back in the lineup. Just really stay. I mean, health's a big thing. I still could see us making some kind of move by All-Star.
I think so.
Kind of have to.
I think we're going to need some kind of either relief pitcher, something out of the bullpen, because they've been a little shaky, or another bat, right?
Yeah.
I think our starters, you can always use another starter, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
for
that's-
sure.
I'm not saying, well, we're good there. If they want to bring in another starter, bring in another starter, right? But we could use another bat.
Yes, we can. We gotta get those hits.
And you got to get those hits.
Just like
'cause
those
that's what
jock
I've been-
jams.
Yep.
It's a
Just
James
like those.
Brown hit. I need those hits.
Get the hits. But no, the weekend was a little bit more promising. For a little bit, I've been kind of like I know the division's kind of everyone's right there, but with the injuries and just the hitting going cold, it's bothersome.
Yeah, it hasn't helped that our schedule's been pretty tough.
It has
Like,
been
I don't
tough.
think we've played a team that's under 500 or come into the series under 500 in a while,
Yeah.
right? So every team we're playing is pretty good.
Yep.
Now it helps that the Rockies come into town tonight.
Exactly.
I like
If you
that.
want to
Boy.
get some warm-ups.
Yeah, if you want to beat up on the
Stat
low-hanging
padding.
fruit, let's
Yeah.
do it. Now
doesn't
I'm
get
going to
any
probably
lower
eat
than
my
that.
words, and they'll probably lose 2 of 3, and
Yeah.
it'll be sad. But the Rockies are not good.
No,
so
they're
we need to
really
win this
bad.
series pretty handily,
Yeah.
or I'm going to be pretty worried.
Yeah, you got to use this series to really get your confidence back and just get your anger out and get
Yeah.
everything out.
They just did change managers though, or they fired Bud Black.
Yeah.
So there's always that just lift
A
on
little
that,
bit,
right?
a little bit, yeah. But I mean, they got to get some wins going because I think this team's very capable.
Yeah. No,
Very capable.
They are. They're playing under their paper.
Oh,
for sure. Like,
For
I don't think that's secret to anybody.
Yeah. Well, let's get back those wins. Keep them going. Keep them going. Well, you were mentioning other trades, and last Monday, of course, the talk of all from Wednesday to up until now, I'm sure the NBA, the first pick is going to be all the talk for the whole week.
I can
on
see
the
that.
Mavs.
That the news cycle is going to be gobbled
So
up by
expect the Cowboys to probably do something else to get the conversation back in the way. No, but they did steal the
that. I wouldn't
headlines.
put it
wins.
past Jerry though.
Oh, I know. Well, or maybe this is when they sign Micah
Yeah.
to his deal. But yes, Cowboys make a huge trade. I woke up Wednesday, my buddy, shout out Lance. he sent me the article. I couldn't believe it because we talked Monday about wide receiver 2. And
Yep.
I was like,
Glaring
I don't
need.
think Pickens
Yeah.
is going to even, because he's not a guy that's usually in their radar.
Yeah, I mean, there's obvious character issues.
At least I'm just saying making that money and that in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Amari was the last one. That was mid-season. But in the last couple of years, they haven't made a splash.
Yeah, you would think based on their recent history, they're more in the bargain basement,
Yeah.
bargain bin.
Yep.
And Pickens is not bargain bin.
No,
all.
he is
Now
wide
you-
receiver 1B
Yeah.
probably here.
You
1A
probably
almost
got
is.
him a little cheaper just because of his character issues
Yeah.
in Pittsburgh being pretty much done with him.
Yeah.
Because had he been an ideal, player, right, and said all the right things and never got in a fight and played every play very hard, which he does not do,
No.
it would have cost more than a third and a pick swap.
Yeah, it was perfect timing.
Yeah.
It was perfect timing. And here's the thing. I just wanted them to do something. And we've been messaging about this. And I said, look, for those that wanted to circle back to Amari had the same similar issue. Maybe not as much on the field, but there were
Yeah.
talks of behind closed doors and stuff. Also, this isn't anything new with the Cowboys as far as personality, especially at wide receiver. You
It's
know?
not new to the league.
No, it's not new because that's what wide receivers do. They all want the ball.
Yeah.
It's not like he's having any off the field legal troubles. He's a hothead, but he's also 24. We were just saying this about Luka. Or even if you look at Micah too, these guys get emotion, they want to win, and he's never really had a quarterback leader.
Never. Not in Pittsburgh.
No. And say what you want about Dak as a player, he is a bona fide leader. You know, every current and previous player, that's all they have to say.
Yeah.
And he's been known
He's
to
a
hold.
leader of men.
He's a leader of men, and he will hold you accountable. He's done it
100%.
a lot. So, and I think just having that maturity and being around and a fresh start could always help. Look, I'm happy with reservation. I'm happy because we needed to do something. 2, I'm happy in the talent we got. And I'm reserved because for the obvious reasons, but I say let it play out. Because right now, I just
100%.
want to win.
Yeah.
I
I
just want to
mean,
win.
history's
This is the move
not
you
on
have
your
to make.
side on this because every time the Steelers trade away a hot pick, they become a head case in 3 weeks.
But that could be said for a lot. I mean, look, we got to. How about this? Charles Haley was a hothead, and we won a Super Bowl. Dion was a hothead, we won a Super Bowl. All I care about is right now. I don't care about 2 seasons from now.
It's different to have this personality at receiver or cornerback than quarterback.
Yeah.
It's the Shador thing, right? You can come into the draft interviews and say, oh, you want me to learn the playbook? What pick do you have? Oh, you have 10? I ain't doing that. I won't be there by then. That's charming when you're the best cornerback in the league, right? But you can't do that at quarterback,
No.
right? So there's a different level there, right, between just how you can act at position.
No, exactly. And I just think, and Shotty has been about his mission is building culture. I'm sure they don't make this move without some kind of conversations going to be had, some expectations. Now, whether they're met, that's going to be, really up to this team, this coach, and the players.
Yeah.
Accountability.
I assume Dak pushed for this I'll lead him, right?
Yeah.
I'll do this. And Shotty can't have a team full of just leaders because that
No.
doesn't win Super Bowls, right?
No.
You need players.
Yeah.
But what you need are a handful of players that are leaders to help the ones that can't lead, right? So Pickens is not a leader, but Dak is. Micah should be,
Yeah.
right? He wants to be.
And you got
CD
that
might not
O-line.
even be a leader. The
Tyler
O-line
Smith.
definitely is. Booker already has shown shown that he can be a leader, right? So it's getting the handful of leaders to help the players that are not, right? Because if you just get 100% character guys, you probably don't have enough talent to win.
No, and I mean you need some competition too. You need some people who are fired up, ready. I'm gonna give it a shot. I mean, look, we had to do something. There was no way you were walking into this season with CD and let's be honest, a lot of question marks.
Yeah, Jalen
Tolbert, Mingo, those guys are 3 and 4s.
Yeah,
they really
100%.
are. Now a name thrown out that was on our radar. Wouldn't mind that. I like the Pickens better.
Oh, yeah. Pickens is a more talented receiver.
This is what you lost with moving on from Amari,
Yeah.
you know. And we need that. We need that X factor. We need that big body. You didn't get Tet, so this is and this is kind of the thought process. Is when Tet was gone, okay, maybe this is what they were eyeing.
As soon as Tet was gone, I think they had already made up their mind. If Tet goes, we make this deal.
And I'm happy about it,
Yeah.
like that, because
Yeah, and you mentioned Dak, right? No
Yeah.
matter what you think of Dak, like if you think he's going to take us to the Super Bowl or not, that doesn't matter because one thing, it does matter, but what I'm about to say, it doesn't matter. One thing that is not subjective, it's objective, is he can throw a deep ball.
he can.
And that Pickens is going to thrive on that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Pickens has ever had a quarterback that can throw the deep ball like that.
No.
Right? So that is just pure fact. Like he can throw it on a dime.
And he loves spreading the love around. He does.
Yeah, he does.
He loves having all the options. He did it with CD coming in with Amari. He's done it with Cooks, CD, tight end. Like, he will do it. And this will take so much pressure off of CD, which is great.
And where you saw Dak struggle last year is because he knew he did not have time.
No, he did not have
And
to
he-
line.
And
just-
they did not have a viable running threat.
Nope. And now they
So,
do.
Defenses, which any
Yep.
defensive coordinator in the league that's worth their job title understands that Dallas had no running game.
Oh, yeah.
So it was basically double CD and let's see what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, they didn't have the weapons to really do anything.
No, they did. Now they do.
They
And
definitely have more, for
They
sure.
have a lot more. By the way, they just signed Jaden Blue and Phil Maffa to their rookie 4-year contracts, $4 million. So congrats to those guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm excited to see what that running back room looks like. We know Blue has a lot of speed. Maffa's probably going to be a little bit more your power back.
Mhm.
And of course we have Javonte Williams.
Yeah, I think
Miles,
Javonte
and-
Williams is definitely still on the table for getting a majority of the carries.
Oh, for
right?
sure. I think Maffa's probably going to be sitting for a little bit, but
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Miles Sanders.
he might not
Doesn't make it.
Yeah, probably not. I think the road probably the end there for him. Question is Deuce gone?
Deuce is gone.
Deuce is gone. I think Hunter stays. I do think he stays.
Yeah, it
'Cause
all
you can
depends
add him
on
in special
Shoddy's
teams.
view of a fullback.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Deuce Vaughn, I think it was a great story. I think it was great to see what he could do, but after 2 years, I think we kind of realized not much. And no offense against him, this is a big boy league, and being his size is going to be really difficult.
It's going to be tough, and also how pass heavy the league still is. So unless if you're that number one RB,
Yeah.
like you're not going to get as much.
Yeah, and also you need the variety of being able. You can't use somebody his size every down.
No,
you just can't do it.
And you're going to just risk him getting hurt, like
Yeah.
just wearing him. So that will be unfortunate if that happens. But I'm excited for Jaden Blue. I'm just excited because this O line's going to look. It should look really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
Tyler Booker. As soon as I heard his interview, I'm like,
Yep, I
Let's-
love it.
let's effing
yeah,
go.
let's go.
I'm good.
Let's go.
I'm good with this.
I'm
He
excited
was at
for
the
a sec.
Stars game.
Yes, he was. He was going crazy. I love his energy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Steelers, he said he grew up a Steelers fan.
No, he did.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has their team, right?
But also, you have second year with Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe. You got Terrence Steele. Tyler Smith is, I think, really going to be that leader stepping up now. I'm excited because that's one thing Dak really hasn't had is 100%.
Yeah. I mean,
O-line.
and Guyton's first year, throw that out,
Yeah.
right? The Cowboys are pretty good at developing offensive line. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a real strength of theirs.
Yeah.
I know I would have liked to have seen more from Guyton
Yeah.
in year one, but they're pretty good at that.
No, yeah. No,
Where I think they struggle at developing, let's say, running back,
Yeah.
they're pretty good at developing offensive line.
Yeah, I feel like running back, you land in kind of that, like, I get a Zeke kind of thing. If you don't, you can't just get someone out of nowhere. Although I will say Tony Pollard, while he was here, he was great.
Yeah.
Especially for the round of the pick that he was. But I kind of think that lands more on just the talent than,
Yeah.
you just lucked with that. But hey, I think they felt like they got something special with the backs that they got. We will see. But I am super excited with Pickens being. I can't wait.
I guess the question: are they good at developing receivers? I mean, CD is just talent, right?
Well, he's first round talent. I feel like first round talent. You're kind of like
it's just you're just better, right?
Yeah. I don't know because you don't see anyone last super long. I can't remember what round Terrence Williams was, but
like a 4th or 5th,
yeah.
right?
So Bryce Butler, right? He was a late round, I believe.
Miles Austin,
but these guys didn't last after a couple of years, so probably not. But then again, you look around the ring, most are like first round, second round.
I mean,
so
really,
that's one of those you're either special or you're not.
Yeah,
I feel. And
I agree with
that. Yeah, but hey, we got now CD and we got
Pickens has that talent.
Oh, for sure.
Especially as a number 2, right? Because he can't come in thinking he's the number 1.
No,
there's no way.
No, but as long as he gets the ball, that's all he cares.
Which he
Get
will.
on the ball.
Can't double both of them.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm excited on that. Well, they just released our first game. It's going to be against the Super Bowl champs, the Eagles in Philly, September 4th. Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
I'm pumped. The last time we played a Super Bowl champion team, that was in 2021 against Tom Brady and Bucs. We lost, but it was a heck of a game.
Yeah.
Very winnable, so we'll see. But especially with the rivalry, I'm super excited to see that matchup to start the season.
Yeah, I mean, I love it being the first game because if you're going to give me the road game against the defending champions, give me 4 months to prepare for it, right?
Exactly.
Instead of a week.
Well, and we saw how last year between the Chiefs and the Ravens, such a great game, down to the wire. So,
that was the one Isaiah Likely in the back of the end zone?
In the zone. Yep. So I'm excited. Usually those opening games are pretty fun. So
yeah, I mean, you just got so much prep time. Let's do it, right?
Let's go. I'm super excited. We're 2 months away from training camp.
And every year I'm just impressed with what the NFL does of making a schedule release an event.
Oh, for sure.
It's Wednesday night and it's on ESPN and people are going to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Not me. I'll just figure it out, but I'll keep up with it, right? Because they're so good at that. Mm-hmm. They're so good at marketing. The NFL's the king for a reason.
It is true. They are the best at marketing. But who also is? So is Jerry Jones.
Jerry knows what he's doing. He might not be the best GM, but he is definitely a salesman.
he was a really good GM last week. I will say that.
Yeah. That was good.
He took some of that Nico.
I think he's had a good offseason.
I think he has too. The draft was pretty good. I mean, and that's coming from draft experts. Graydon. And I think, we got a little nervous about wide receiver too, but they had an ace.
Yeah, they had a plan.
They picked up the phone.
Yep.
That's one thing they did not do last year.
Okay, the draft didn't fall the way I wanted it to. Here's my backup plan. Let's do it.
And even if they would have gone Bateman, I still would have been disappointed because at least I wanted them to do something. I did not want them to fall into content of, okay, we're good with.
It just shows me how purposeful they set McCarthy up to fail last year.
For sure. I saw that.
So obvious that they did it on purpose to have him fail, which that's not good business.
No, because you're sabotaging your season. I mean, obviously you couldn't, know that Dak was going to go out, but you also didn't give Dak any weapons, anything.
But it's this hubris of he understands, and by he I mean Jerry.
Yeah.
He's not going to lose any money. He's not going to lose any season ticket. They go 4-15 or 4-13 or whatever the 17 games is now. It doesn't matter, right? The season ticket holder is still going to be there. And they'll just try harder next year, right? Unlike what we're seeing with the Mavs, where I do think they would have lost something. The Cowboys aren't going to.
Well, the Mavs fans, hear me out, are nowhere near the loyal or diehard that Cowboys fans.
No way. Josh Hamilton said it 12 years ago that this is a football town or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
It is. I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't true, but it is true.
You don't think it's a baseball town, man?
No, it is not.
No.
It is a football town because, again, they can go 6-11.
Yeah,
and
they'll never lose.
Still be okay.
I will say them up in season ticket prices did not bode well with a lot of the fans. I mean, they still
they'll
paid
be
it.
mad, but they're still going to do it.
But now you kind of made up, though, when you bring out a guy like Pickett. You know.
And that's what Jerry understands. He's like, they'll bitch, they'll cry, and they'll be upset, but they ain't going anywhere.
I will say, though, as someone that goes to the games, seeing 40% of the other team consistently last year was a little concerning.
Yeah, they
And-
will sell their tickets to those because
Yeah.
fans will travel here.
Yeah.
But Jerry also doesn't necessarily care about that.
Well, it's bad when it's loud on the on the offense. So I think last year there was people were tuned out. I would listen to them. They were like, he didn't do anything.
No, they were mad.
But he'll find a way to win them back.
Exactly. That's my point. Is they can be mad, but they'll get over it. That's his kind of thought process. Whether it's right or wrong, I mean, it is right, but whether it's a good thought process or not is a different discussion. But that is his thought process, and he's not wrong.
No, I think this organization just, and not just him, pre him as well, just the glory. There's only a handful of franchises where you're like, okay, historically, there's a glory. The Steelers have that, the Packers have that,
49ers,
49ers. Cowboys are one of that, just the history and just the loyal. And like you said, you're going to be mad, but there's also this hope. And it's not just that Jerry sells it, it's we sell it in ourselves.
100%.
Because we don't already buy his stuff. It's just we see the talent. You know, we get those wins going.
Yeah, and I have friends that are not Cowboy fans.
Yeah.
And they always say, "Oh, is it your year this year?" And I'm like, probably not, but I'm going to say it is, right? Just because we all want to believe it. We all talk ourselves into it. And we also understand as football fans, it is a league of parity more than other leagues. So right now, at any given time, you'll have like a group of teams that are always in contention, 4 or 5 of them. Chiefs are definitely in that right now. Bills are definitely in that. And then you have a group of that are never in contention, right? The Panthers are in that right now. The Jaguars. Cardinals. And though there's not really much movement between those, but that 22 teams in the middle, like anything can happen with them.
Well, and I'll say this team, I don't ever look at it like, well, this is our year. Because honestly, my thing comes more like, it's hard to say too. Unfortunately, injuries always plague us too. But I will say, for the most part, we've been consistently a playoff team.
Yeah.
And statistically, as long as Dax plays the full year, they make the playoffs. The only time it didn't happen was his sophomore year, but you lost Zeke for half the season. And then that 2019, which we had no defense, that was Garrett's last year. But other than that, Dak plays, you win.
Consistently, they're above average team.
And we came close last year. How ugly that was. You win that Bengals game. Like, mathematically, they're always right there. So, yeah, I mean, I feel really good about this team in the sense of, like, barring no injuries, they're gonna contend. They're gonna be playoff contenders. They're gonna be in the mix. It's gonna be competitive.
6-11.
I highly doubt that with Pickens. Highly doubt that.
I mean, everybody's so high on Washington
Unless
right
you
now.
lose Dak again. If you lose
What
Dak,
did you say,
6-11.
6-11?
yeah, that's what he.
No, I think they'll be better than that.
I think there'll be a wild
You're
card
such
team.
a pessimist.
Well,
Tanner.
here's what I think. Just seeing, yes, the Eagles just won the championship, but they always find a way to be inconsistent and drop the ball, pun intended. And the thing with the Commanders is, will he have a sophomore slump? And Debo gets hurt. Like, there's these things, and I'm going to say this too about Saquon too in the run. And when you've torn an ACL before, there's that high chance.
Yeah. At some point, I think we talked about it with Jock's bat speed last week, right? You lose a step.
Yeah.
You lose at just this split second. And once you do, they ain't getting it back, right?
Yeah.
Like, so Saquon at some point will lose a step.
He will. I mean, and not that one in injury, but it just
No,
happens. Then
no.
there's the high risk.
Yeah.
There's a high risk. And, and other teams get better, defenses get better. I think we got better on defense, too, especially a guy like Donovan Azaraku coming in. We're going to have
the
Sam
edge rusher.
Yeah. And
I'm
we have
very
Sam
high on
Williams
that.
back. We have Sam Williams back. So it's going to be competitive. I think and the reason why I feel confident is because I think there's some other teams that now there's a lot of question marks because of quarterback.
Yeah.
Minnesota, where those divisions were highly competitive. You could even say with Detroit because they got a new offensive coordinator. Changes like that can make a big difference.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, every year, and this is before they went to 7 teams per conference,
Yeah.
but when it was 6 teams, half of those playoff teams turned over.
Oh, I
right?
know.
Like, just because that's the way this league is.
Uh-huh.
So, you mentioned Jaden Daniels. He has to prove he's not RG3.
Exactly.
Right? Because
He's not
I've
a
seen
big
this
guy.
before. I've seen RG3
Yeah.
before where he had that great first season and everybody's like, Washington's back. RG3 is going to be a problem for a decade. No, he wasn't, right?
And you gotta look, it's and we know Dan Quinn, so we know that team. We got to win over them, and I don't really count that last game because all hope was
No, the
gone.
last one.
But it's gonna be now interesting that you have an X factor with a guy like Pickens, and you have a fully healthy line. That's one thing we have not had, and you have a run game. When we've had a run game, it's been pretty special.
I will say the Giants got better too. So, like, everybody in our division should feel like they should be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, I could see 3 NFC East wild cards.
Yeah. And it just all depends on how it's going to shake out, right?
Because now with the Saints, now Derek Carr retires. Obviously, it looks like Tyler Shue's going to probably most likely, unless they go out and maybe get one of the Browns quarterbacks. Kenny Pickett, maybe. He's played with Kellen
I mean,
Moore,
they have a
Joe
bunch.
Flacco. Or maybe you go get Winston.
Get Shedeur.
Yeah. I mean, that was what
I mean,
fans
would they
wanted.
give a 4th for Shedeur?
Cowboys would.
I mean, if anybody, right? So
Yeah.
Get Shedeur.
Well, Dylan Gabriel, you give up.
Yeah.
There are too many quarterbacks over there. But anyways, we'll see what happens. But as we talk longer about the Cowboys, this is what they do.
Yeah, I mean, again, they monopolize the time, right? I agree that they're going to be competitive, but we mentioned scheduling, right?
Yeah.
It's just that league is so unique on it does matter when you play a team, right?
Yeah.
With only 17 games, this release on Wednesday night does matter. So playing
Yeah.
the Eagles early is very beneficial, right?
Exactly. Because we always play them right in
Yeah.
November.
I mean, you mentioned the opening game last year where Isaiah Likely stepped out of bounds, right? How that first game changed the course of the whole season for
It
that
did.
team.
It did. Going to Philly, I'd rather go when it's 80 degrees, 90, than
Yeah.
November.
No, I love that being the
Not
first
knowing
game.
with rain or
It's
cold
perfect.
like that. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. But yes. So congrats, Cowboys. Cheers to that. We got our wide
Cheers.
receiver too.
Hey, baseball season's still going on at that point. Y'all want to go do a doubleheader? We can go Cowboys, Eagles, and a Phillies, whoever they're playing. Let's make it happen.
That sounds good, man.
I'm
Hey.
always thinking, hey, what baseball stadium can I go to?
Right now.
Yeah, but Tyler and my buddy Tyler and I, we normally do, past couple of years, 3 years, we've done a preseason football game with a
nice.
baseball game.
Yeah.
Because the preseason games are, now they don't matter,
Yeah.
but at least I get to see the ballpark for like $8 or the
Yeah.
stadium for like $8 instead of $150.
That's true.
So it is much cheaper. But like we did Kansas City 3 years ago.
Oh, nice.
Then we did Pittsburgh. And then last year we did Baltimore.
Okay.
So we just got to find a preseason game that aligns with the baseball team being home.
Yeah.
I'm into that, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm up for it if y'all are.
Yeah.
All right,
it's
we'll
fun.
talk it over.
All
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen, this has been Pouring Takes. Thank you so much.
He's kicking us off.
Yeah.
Well, we're hitting that 1 hour mark, and I'd like to get some chicken tendies.
You eat like a 5-year-old.
That's right. That's me.
You get some mac and cheese with that.
That's right. Charlie, what you got, buddy?
Man, I'm stoked we're back here. All the great news once again. Go Mavs, #1 pick.
I mean, it was really hard as a Laker fan for that. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
Let's
Go
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 that 9
Stars.
weeks.
Go Stars.
Go Stars.
Go Rangers. Burgers back.
And hey, if you love some rock, well, you love karaoke, be here on Wednesday night for Throw It Back with Tanner. And if you love some rock music, go check out Double Bear at Hardwood Arms this Friday night. And Flying Saucer on Saturday night.
That's right, man. Big time, big time.
Make it
We'll
up
see y'all
forward.
next week.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, no,